Hello, hello. It's Alice from Latin Budget, and I am going to do the closing of the month of May. I filled out my fixed expenses every time it hit my account or the bill was due and it was taken out of the account. I wrote the exact amount. That means that on my weeklies, I wrote it, and off camera, I went to my monthly and I wrote down my bill, the date, and the exact amount. Okay? Why? Because this sheet is what I am going to use to fill out my monthly budget category breakdown. And what does that mean? That means I will be adding according to the categories that entered my account. That means my income, what was earned, what was rolled over from the month of April, other income that hit my account, sinking funds that were used, and that will add up my total monthly inflow. Then I would need to do my variable spending. These are all the categories that I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 categories in total. And these are the ones I have in my wallet. I do use my ATM in certain occasions, like if I'm going to pay for the lawn, I use my ATM, and I also pull out for my home category. That's anything that pops up or anything that I need. And if anything is left over, this is where I usually take out to fill my challenges. Lately, I've been budgeting it in, and I've been trying to use anything left over as a rollover to see if I can fill up my long-term and short-term categories that I have coming up. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. Let's see. So we're going to figure out the percentage for each category for the month, okay? Now, if you see, I started off, I left my markers in the other room. I'm going to pause. And, oh, before I go, check out the nails. Isn't it so pretty? Okay. Yay. I got new nails. The other ones lasted me 9 days. I took them off. They could have lasted a little bit more, but they started tugging on my hair. So, no. I can't have that. And yeah, so that's pretty good, I would say. What I'm thinking, I saved them because I know people use them again if they buy the sticky tape or something you call it. I know Amazon has it. And I need that machine so I can take off the glue from the nail so I can reuse again. Yeah, I need one of those. I can't budget it in right now, but soon, I hope, because I'm really liking it. When I took off the other ones, my nail wasn't harmed in any way. The glue came out fast. I used pure acetone, and I put the clamp thing with a cotton ball, and yeah, the glue came out And then I took a bath, and the rest of the glue that was still on the nail, it came out with soap, water and soap. So that's good. I like them. Is it pretty? So pretty. Well, okay, let me go get the highlighters so I can continue this. I'll probably stop talking and do it so you guys can follow the process. I'll probably give it a little fast forward so the video won't be so long. So let me pause so I can get my highlighters from my other room. Ugh. Okay, so you saw how easy it was once you have the sheet. So when you finish your closing of your week, you have this sheet almost completed. The only thing remaining is adding what you budgeted for your wallet and your spending from your wallet. That's the only thing that I had to do at the end of the closing of the last week in May. And after I did that, it's easier to transfer the information you recovered to this sheet. So all I did was find the categories, add the categories from this single sheet, and it's so much easier and so much faster. Okay, yeah, so that I can set aside already. And now to find out each percentage according to the categories from the total monthly inflow. And how do we do that? Okay, the percent of the total monthly inflow is monthly spent divided by your monthly inflow. So this is what I spent. I go to the category, and the first one is utilities, is 401.01. I divide that from my total monthly inflow. Okay, and it's in decimal. To create the percentage, I have to know that after the decimal point, I can add a number. If it's 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, you add a number. Okay, so we roll the decimal point to the right 2 spaces. 1, 2. That's 8.9%. But it's a 9, so that means I will change this 8 into a 9. So it's 9% spent on my utilities from my monthly inflow. So that's 9%. And I will do that with each category. Off by $1 because it's $962.24, so I'm off by $1, but it's okay, it's all good. Okay, so okay, now let's talk about this. So you guys saw, this is the percentage. I have for utilities, 9% went to utilities. My self-care, 3% went to self-care. My miscellaneous, 0.3 went to miscellaneous. For gifts, 1%. Transportation, 4%. For my health, 12%. Home, 8%. I should be... Okay. 8. For subscriptions, I spent 1% towards that. For my food, I spent 4% from my income. For my savings, 5%. For my tie, 0.3%. Nothing for my grandson. And in debt, which I am tackling, I want to get rid of all the balances on the credit cards, and my personal loan is the next one I will be attacking. I will be more aggressive. Yeah, 31% went towards that. 31%. And for my rollover starting balance, the correct is 962.24. And that's 21%. So it says 99.60. But I also spent in my fun category, but that's gonna take me to point blah blah blah, and you know, it's just is so small, the percentage. So it's not even 0.3. So it's like 0.2, something like that, or 0.1. So it should add 100%. I'm not stressing it, but if you make a mistake, that's what happens. So just don't stress it. It's, you know, it's a very small amount and very small percentage. The important thing is that you know the difference where you spent too much, and if everything else was well budgeted. This is what's important here, right? And it helps you out for preparing better for next year. What I have been doing, I know I am over in my debt category. Yes, I'm over, but it's in my favor because I'm tackling the debt. Okay, so that's why I'm not stressing this. And to me, I see it in my favor. I'm negative in this category, but it's in my favor because it's trying to eliminate the debt. And everything else was miscellaneous and my food category. Those are my bad categories. And let me see, I budgeted for health. Yeah, I did budget well for it, but this is something that it doesn't pop up very often. So that amount of money would have helped me out so much in my budget for savings, for my challenges, and it'll help me add to my sinking funds. So that's something that I'm looking forward to once the studies are over with and everything falls back into place. I can start saving again like I usually do, or stuff well my wallet so I can be a little more relaxed during my months. So there you have it. I hope you liked. I hope you understood it much better. It's much easier, much faster, and yeah, if this is something that you like, all you have to do is like, subscribe, activate that bell, come and join me where we do cash stuffing, sinking funds, savings challenges, and of course we have to budget to find out where we can save for our long-term savings and short-term savings and anything in between. I'll see you in my next video where I will be starting off the month of June, which I already have spent. Before I go, I've been doing the challenge that budgeting just because started, which is spending $100 in your variable spending and nothing else. So I did do this worksheet in order for me to see how am I going to budget the $100. And I said before, it's sort of like my bare bones budget. which I said, I told her in her live, it's not possible, it's not possible. Well, yeah, it's a bare bones budget. So you budget what you can, and anything in between that you want is a no-no. So far, everything has come out correctly according to my plans. I transferred the $351, which is half of the loan, with the last paycheck in May, and I transferred it to the other account. So if I make an error, it won't affect my loan, which is up on the 12th. Remember, I am a bi-weekly budgeter, but I do need to budget on a weekly basis because it breaks it down for me, and I visualize it better, and I have more control. So that's how come I close out my weeks. Now, when I do my bare bones budget, I do not include my wallet. I know I have leftover, and I leave it out of the bills, because this is for the $100 challenge, the spending, right? We're not going to add that to the budget because we're not going to use any of this for the budget. Now, my two accounts, that's the balance that I have. Things that have to come out with the last paycheck in May. Since I am a bi-weekly budgeter, I have to budget for 2 weeks. And this is what has come out so far. My subscription, it's already paid for. It came out on the 2nd, and I already posted the payment today. My cell phone, my Netflix, and electricity hasn't come out. That comes out on the 12th, I do believe. And I get paid, I think, on the 14th. So I decided, since it's 2 days later, I decided to pay off my PayPal. This is the balance it has. But it was done with, I purchased something that was interest-free up to June. Now, if I don't pay this in June, that's the balance on that, I will be charged the interest that I have been evading, right? So, no. That's a no-no for me. That's a no-brainer. So, to me, it's important to pay this off. Good thing is, I budgeted extra hours, just 2. I have 3. So that means instead of 40, it's 60. So I have extra money that I wasn't counting on, which is good. And so far, so good. So my week has been budgeted for the end of May, and the first week to the 14th. I do believe I get paid on the 14th. To the 14th. So I budgeted out my 2 weeks. I'm good. Okay? And once I get paid, I will stuff my envelopes with $100. So that's how that's been coming out. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to check out Budgeting Just Because, YouTube, Instagram, and she does explain her $100 challenge. So you could come and join and see how much you can survive till your next paycheck, fulfilling the $100. Now, without further ado, let's say good night, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Adios.